The town of Havenwood was a quiet place. Everyone knew each other, but there was one house everyone talked about, Blackwood Manor. It sat on a lonely hill, surrounded by old, spooky trees. People said it was haunted. They said shadows danced there and the air felt sad and cold. Some even said they heard kids crying on windy nights. I'm Mark. I was young and thought I was smart. I didn't believe in ghosts or haunted houses. I thought it was all just old stories. But then, one night, everything changed. It started with a dare from my friends, Jake and Liam, at the pub. Go on, Mark, Jake teased. Spend one night in Blackwood Manor. Prove us all wrong. Liam added, unless you're scared, of course. Their words got to me. So, one windy night in October, I walked to the old gates of Blackwood Manor. They groaned as I pushed them open. The house looked like a giant, dark monster against the sky. Its windows looked like empty eyes. A shiver ran down my back. I opened the heavy front door. It made a long, sad sound. Inside, the air was thick and cold, even though it wasn't cold outside. Dust floated in the weak light from the dirty windows. It smelled old, like things rotting, and something else sharp, like old blood. My stomach felt sick. I walked into what used to be the living room. Wallpaper peeled off the walls like old skin. An old clock stood still in a corner, its hands stuck at 3:15. I put my sleeping bag on the dusty floor. I was here. I was staying. I was going to prove them wrong. Night came fast. The house became very dark, like a heavy blanket. The wind howled outside, shaking the windows. I tried to read my book, but my eyes kept looking at the dark corners. Then I heard it. A whisper. It was very quiet at first, like the wind. But it wasn't the wind. It was coming from upstairs. I froze. The whisper got louder. It sounded like a child crying. A sad, quiet sob. My skin got goosebumps. I closed my eyes tight. Please let this be a dream. Then a thump. A heavy sound from the room right above me. My breath stopped. I sat up quickly, reaching for my phone. No signal. Of course. The crying stopped. The house became completely silent. Too silent. Even the wind seemed to stop. I held my breath too, listening hard. The silence felt heavy. Then a slow, dragging sound. Scrape, scrape, scrape. It was coming from upstairs, moving across the floor. Slowly, getting closer. It was moving towards the stairs. I felt cold all over. I wanted to run, but my legs wouldn't move. I was so scared. The scraping stopped. Then a soft creak. Then another. The stairs. Something was coming down the stairs. My eyes were wide open in the dark, staring at the doorway to the stairs. The darkness felt like it was pushing on me, making it hard to breathe. The creaking continued, slow and heavy, coming down each step. Then I saw it. A shadow. At the top of the stairs, it was tall and thin. It wasn't a person. It was too tall, too strange. It just stood there, watching me. A low giggle echoed through the house. A child's giggle. But it wasn't happy. It was cold, like a cruel joke. The shadow started to move. It didn't walk. It glided, slowly, silently down the stairs. Like a ghost. I made a small sound, a scared whimper. My eyes were stuck on the moving shadow. I could feel its coldness, even from far away. Felt like hate, like an old, bad evil. It reached the bottom of the stairs. Then, very slowly, it turned its head. It tilted its dark face towards me. I still saw no eyes, but I knew it was looking at me. I could feel its gaze, heavy and scary. Another giggle, closer now, started to move towards me, still gliding. I heard a quiet rustling, like old cloth dragging on the floor. My mind screamed at me to run, but my body stayed still. I was frozen, waiting for what would happen. The shadow was almost on me. The room got very cold. A bad smell, like rotten meat, filled my nose. I closed my eyes tight, waiting. I heard a sigh. It was right next to my ear. Cold air, with that bad smell, touched my skin. Then a whisper. It was so close, it felt like it was inside my head. It was the child's voice, but it was twisted and evil. "You shouldn't have come." I screamed. A loud, scared scream from deep inside me. My eyes flew open. The shadow was gone. The bad smell was gone. The room was dark but empty. I quickly got out of my sleeping bag. My heart was pounding. I ran blindly to the front door. I didn't care about anything else. I just needed to get out. My hands shook as I opened the latch. Finally, the door burst open. I ran out into the rain, not caring about being wet or muddy. I ran down the hill, never looking back at the house. Its dark windows looked like empty eyes watching me leave. I don't know what it was. I don't want to know. But I know one thing. Some houses should be left alone, and some dares should never be taken. I haven't slept well since that night, and every time I hear a child's giggle, I get a cold shiver down my back. Our new house in Crestwood Heights was perfect. It was an old Victorian, big and beautiful, with a wraparound porch and a huge backyard. My husband, David, and I thought it was a dream come true for our little daughter, Lily, who was only 5. We moved in during late summer. Lily loved her new room, especially the old built-in wardrobe. She called it her secret castle. We thought it was cute, just a child's imagination. But after a few weeks, things changed. Lily started getting sick. Small things at first, a cough, a low fever. The doctor couldn't find anything wrong. She also started acting strange. She talked about a friend in her wardrobe, quiet friend. We thought it was an imaginary friend. But then she started drawing pictures. The drawings got darker. The friend was a tall, shadowy woman with long, thin fingers. Her eyes were just dark holes. Lily would spend hours drawing her, saying, "She wants to play." One night, Lily woke up screaming. She said the friend was real. She said the friend was angry. We tried to comfort her, but she was shaking, looking at the wardrobe. We started hearing things. Soft scratching sounds from inside the wardrobe, even when Lily was out of the room. Small, strange whispers, like dry leaves rustling, seemed to come from her room late at night. Then, Lily's sickness got worse. She lost weight, her eyes looked sunken. She often spoke in a low, raspy voice that wasn't hers, repeating strange old words. Doctors were still baffled. One afternoon, I found Lily in her room, drawing. The new picture was terrifying. It showed her, pale and thin, being embraced by the shadowy woman from the wardrobe. The woman's face was clearer now, a withered, angry face. Suddenly, Lily dropped the crayon. Her body tensed. Her eyes went blank, staring at the wardrobe. A cold, heavy feeling filled the room. The air grew icy. Then, A low, guttural growl echoed from inside the wardrobe. Not an animal sound. Something ancient and full of hate. It lasted only a second, but it froze my blood. I grabbed Lily. She felt impossibly cold. I rushed her out of the room, shutting the door behind me, but the cold followed. David called a paranormal investigator, a man named Mr. Blackwood. He came to the house with special tools. He said the house had heavy energy. He told us the spirit was female, very old, and very angry. It was drawn to Lily because she was so sensitive. It wanted to take her, to use her body. That night, Mr. Blackwood set up cameras and sensors. We were all in the living room, waiting. Lily was sleeping, heavily sedated, in our arms. Suddenly, a loud bang came from Lily's room. The lights flickered. On Mr. Blackwood's monitor, we saw it. The wardrobe doors slowly swinging open, revealing a deeper, chilling darkness within. A cold mist poured from the wardrobe, spreading across the room. A shadowy shape began to form, tall and thin, just like Lily's drawings. It slowly glided out of the wardrobe. The growl we heard before filled the air, louder now, raw and chilling. It was coming from the shadowy figure. It turned its head slowly towards the camera. No face, just deep, dark holes for eyes. Suddenly, Lily stirred in my arms. Her eyes fluttered open, but they weren't her eyes. They were completely black, like the doll's eyes in her drawings. A cold, cruel smile stretched across her face. In a raspy, old woman's voice, Lily spoke. She is mine. Then her small hand reached out, its fingers suddenly long and skeletal, pointing directly at me. Mr. Blackwood reacted fast. He shouted prayers, holding up a small, silver cross. The shadowy figure in Lily's room recoiled, hissing. The growl intensified. The figure lunged at the camera, filling the screen with darkness. The monitor went black. All the lights in the house died. Total darkness. Then, from Lily's room, we heard heavy, dragging sounds getting closer. The growl was right outside the living room door. Mr. Blackwood yelled, "Run! Get out now!" David grabbed Lily. I grabbed David's hand. We ran, blindly, through the dark house, crashing into furniture. We burst through the front door, gasping for breath. The cold air hit us. We ran across the lawn, not caring about the sharp grass, not looking back. We heard Lily cough, and her voice was normal again. We stayed with relatives for weeks. Lily slowly got better. The doctors said she was okay, but we knew it was the house. We never went back to Oakhaven Manor. We sold it quickly without ever stepping inside again. We warned the real estate agent about the strange vibes, but not the truth. Who would believe us? Lily never talks about her friend now, but sometimes late at night I wake up to the sound of soft scratching. And I wonder if the evil spirit found another sensitive child. Or if it's still waiting, just beyond the edge of what we can see, for another family to call Oakhaven Manor home. I love hiking. There's nothing like being alone in nature, just me and the quiet. So, I planned a solo trip to Blackwood National Park, deep in the mountains of Oregon. Everyone said it was beautiful, with miles of untouched forest. The first day was perfect. The air was fresh, the sun was warm. I followed the marked trail, enjoying the quiet. I felt completely at peace, far from city noise and worries. On the second day, I decided to go deeper, taking a less used path. It was exciting, feeling like I was the only person for miles. The trees grew taller, the forest denser. I stopped for a break. When I started again, I couldn't find the trail marker. I looked around. Nothing. Just trees. A small worry started to grow in my stomach. I tried to go back the way I came, but the path looked different. The trees seemed to have moved. Every direction looked the same. My heart started to beat a little faster. Then I heard it. A whisper. Faint like the wind, but it wasn't the wind. It sounded like my name. I spun around. No one. Just trees. I told myself it was just the wind. Night fell fast. The woods became completely dark. I set up my small tent, feeling very exposed. The sounds of the forest changed. They felt closer, more watchful. I heard rustling right outside my tent. A twig snapped. Too close. I held my breath, listening. My mind screamed, someone's out there. But who? And why was it so quiet otherwise? I woke up disoriented. The sun was in the wrong direction. I had no idea where I was. The trees around me seemed taller, darker, like they were closing in. More strange sounds, distorted animal cries that didn't sound right. Then, faint, mocking laughter that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. My skin crawled. I tried to find a landmark, anything familiar, but every tree, every rock looked the same. Panic started to rise, a cold knot in my chest. I felt watched, the sensation of unseen eyes on me from between the trees. Every shadow seemed to hold something. I started walking faster, trying to outrun the feeling. Then a fleeting glimpse, a tall, dark figure moving between the trees. I blinked. It was gone. Just trees. Was I seeing things? My mind felt fuzzy. I found a murky stream and drank desperately, ignoring the taste. My throat was dry. My body ached. I was exhausted, hungry, and covered in scratches from pushing through bushes. The whispers intensified. They were clearer now, calling my name, twisting it, making it sound ugly. Then words. Taunting words. You're lost forever. I covered my ears, shaking my head. Stop. Leave me alone. I started running, blindly, crashing through the undergrowth, trying to escape the voices. The woods seemed to close in. The trees grew impossibly thick, their branches twisting into thorny walls. Paths I thought I saw vanished as I approached them. It was a maze, a trap. I saw them, the trees. Their bark seemed to twist into faces, their branches like long, grasping arms. They weren't just trees anymore. They were watching. I stumbled upon something strange. A small, wooden carving stuck into the side of an ancient tree. It wasn't an animal. It was a twisted, human-like figure with too many limbs, its mouth open in a silent scream. This wasn't just being lost. This was wrong. Deeply, terribly wrong. The woods weren't just woods. They were alive, and they wanted me. The air grew heavy, thick, suffocating. Felt like I was breathing mud. The whispers were all around me now, a chorus of mocking voices, closing in. Then, through the mist, I saw it. Not a figure, not a shadow, but a twisting, shapeless mass of dark energy, blending with the trees, with too many limbs, too many eyes that weren't eyes. It was the woods. It was the evil. It was everywhere. I screamed, a raw, guttural sound of pure, absolute terror. I turned and ran, blindly, not caring about the branches tearing at my skin, not caring about anything but escaping that horror. I crashed through the undergrowth, my lungs burning, my legs aching. The whispers chased me, the growls echoed. I just ran, until suddenly, the trees thinned. I stumbled out into a small, dusty clearing. A gravel road, a miracle, collapsed, gasping. A few minutes later, I heard a car. It was a park ranger. He found me, shaking and crying, covered in scratches. He looked at me strangely. I tried to tell him what happened, but the words wouldn't come out right. He just nodded slowly, saying, "The Blackwood, it gets to some folks." He drove me to the nearest town. I'm safe now, back in my apartment in Portland. But the woods, they changed me. I can't look at trees the same way. They seem to watch. Their branches seem to reach. And sometimes late at night, when the city is quiet, I swear I can still hear the whispers. Faint, distant, but clear, calling my name, taunting me, and I know deep down the Blackwood is still out there, waiting for the next lost soul.